Hi, I'm Howie Silbiger, and living with the tradition that I started 20 odd years ago. On Christmas Eve, I come on and I do a short show. I do a show. Uh, we don't celebrate as Jews. I don't celebrate Christmas, but I wish all my non-Jewish listeners and friends a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Even though it's not mine, I do wish them the best. Uh, I come on. We talk about all sorts of stuff. We do a show. It's not a long show. It'll be an average size show. But I've done this every single Christmas Eve for my entire radio career. And so I invite you to call in. The number to call, 1-877-669-1292. That is the number to call to get in on the conversation, to join me right here on the air. We are live, and so feel free to call in, 1-877-669-1292. That's 1-877-669-1292. The numbers are on top of the screen. Feel free to call in and join me on this evening. This evening's festivities, this evening's show, this broadcast. So it is Christmas Eve, and as a Jew, I do not celebrate Christmas, and nor do I recommend my Jewish friends celebrate Christmas. We have our own holidays, and we don't have to celebrate other people's holidays. So it is good that we keep our holidays separate. Not to negate somebody else's holiday, but really it's not my holiday, so I'm not celebrating. Uh, at the same time, there is an American tradition to eat Chinese food on Christmas Eve. Now, this American tradition dates back to the early 20th century, where Jews in the lower east side of Manhattan wanted to do something on Christmas Eve. They felt that they were left out. They felt that they weren't part of the Christmas festivities, and so they wanted to do something. So what did they do? They went to Chinese restaurants. Why Chinese restaurants? Why Chinese? It seems a little odd that Jews on Christmas would be eating Chinese. The truth of the matter is that they went to Chinese because the Chinese food tends to hide the non kosher ingredients. So Jews that felt guilty about eating non kosher would go to Chinese because Chinese made egg rolls and they made wontons, they made all sorts of foods that were able to hide the pork and the other non kosher ingredients that were in the food. So the Jews who ate in these restaurants didn't feel that guilty eating non kosher. So that's why they went to Chinese restaurants. And on Christmas Eve, they went to Chinese restaurants because those were the restaurants that were open. Everything else was closed. Chinese restaurants were open. They don't celebrate Christmas either. So that is where the tradition of Jews eating Chinese on Christmas Eve comes from. It is an assimilationist approach, and since I am not an assimilationist, nor am I one to promote assimilation, especially Jewish assimilation, I I tend to play down that and tend to get a little upset with kosher restaurants or kosher food makers advertising a Christmas special for Jews. I think God gave us the commandments to eat a certain way. God gave us the commandments to live a certain way. And when we live that way, uh, doing something outside of the realm of what God commanded us is essentially trying to cheat God. And I don't believe in trying to cheat God. I don't believe that we should try to cheat God out of His commandments, out of the way we're supposed to be behaving. So therefore, I do not, and I repeat, I do not eat Chinese food on Christmas Eve, nor do I ask people to eat Chinese food on Christmas Eve. So when I see Jewish restaurants and I see Jewish people, talking about eating Chinese and what Chinese restaurants are we going to, it bothers me because this is part of the assimilation problem we have in the United States and Canada. It is part of the assimilation problem. We as Jews are proud to be different. Being proud to be different means that we are not the same as everyone else, pretending to be the same as everyone else, pretending to be part of the main crowd and trying to be just like everyone else, always led to disaster for the Jewish people. It always led to pogroms, it always led to holocausts, it always led to the massacre of Jews. Jews should have learned their lesson centuries ago. We are not the same as everyone else. We are different. And why are we different? Well, number one, people don't tend to like us. Number two, we're different because we have a different way of life. We live differently. We believe in different things. We don't follow the masses. We do our own thing. And we should be proud of that. I know many Jews who aren't proud of their Judaism. They aren't proud of being Jewish or being part of the Jewish people, and that's a shame. It's really, really a shame. We should be proud to be Jewish. We should be proud to be Jewish and live freely as Jews wherever we are living. This is what we should be proud to be doing. And if we're not proud to be doing this, then we have a bigger problem than people not hating us. If we hate ourselves, then we have a bigger problem internally than people hating us. So here on this Christmas Eve, I am here on the air. You could call in 1-877-669-1292. And I'm calling it Christmas Eve because the whole world calls it Christmas Eve. In Israel, they call it Sylvester Day. Now, if you know anything about Sylvester, the evil monk who decided that Jews were good to put into barrels with nails in them and roll them down a hill, the evil monk that decided to massacre Jews, and he usually did this on Christmas Eve. So if we want to talk about Saint Sylvester and Sylvester Day, we could do that too. But look, the Christian torture of the Jewish people, the constant torturing over the centuries of the Jewish people, could we ever forgive the Christians for their torturing? The Pope did apologize for the persecution of the Jews a long time ago. The Pope apologized. But could we really forgive the Christians for what they did to us? Is it possible to look at Christianity and to look at our non-Jewish friends and say, all right, so you massacred us for centuries. You tried to convert us. You tried to destroy our way of life. You tried to destroy our people. And it's understandable. We know why you tried to do that. Why you tried to do that was quite simple. You can't say you have a New Testament if an Old Testament still exists. We understand that that's a major problem, is to call it a New Testament when the Old Testament is still there. How could you possibly do that? And so we understand there is an ideological problem with Jews still existing. You can't convince other people to follow something that's new when there are still a lot of people out there following the old thing. So I get the concept. I understand why we were persecuted as Jews over the centuries. I get it. It's just a matter of should Jews forgive our Christian neighbors? Should we tolerate them? Now, I have plenty of Christian friends. Don't get me wrong. This is not one of those racist things. I have nothing against the Christian people as a people, but should Jewish people forgive Christianity for this? I asked one of my evangelical Christian friends. Now we have to understand evangelicals. I get the concept of evangelicalism. The idea is that they support Israel and they support Jewish causes, and their sole purpose is to convert Jews to Christianity. That's the main goal of all evangelicals, is to convert Jews to Christianity, and to get us to the end of to Armageddon, the end of the line, as laid out in the book of. To get to Armageddon, to get us to the end of the line. What happens at the end of the line? Well, first of all Jews, according to the book of Revelations, all Jews have to be moved to Israel, and they all have to live in Israel. And then the second thing that has to happen is all Jews then have to accept Jesus as the Messiah and as the Son of God. And if they don't do that, then there will be the rapture and then Armageddon, and then all the people who don't accept Jesus will be destroyed. And all the people who do accept Jesus will ascend to heaven. And this is the main goal of evangelicals, is to get us to the point where we're going forward to heaven, and the Jews will disappear, and the revelation of the God will happen. It's the book of Revelations. If you don't believe me, read the book of Revelations. It's a fascinating read, a little psychotic, but a fascinating read. Pick up a Christian Bible, read the book of Revelations. I don't particularly believe in the Christian Bible. I don't think the Christian Bible is authentic. You can't have a New Testament when the Jews have the Old Testament. You can't have two testaments with God. Two people can't be the chosen people of God. So I really believe that it's problematic. So here we are. Many Jews have said to me over the last little while, "What do you do on Christmas Eve? Why what do you do when the whole world is celebrating and you're a Jewish guy and you're not celebrating? What do you do?" And I told him, I just looked him in the eye and I said to him, I go on and I've done a radio show on Christmas Eve for 28 years. And this year I was going to go on and broadcast on Facebook and on Twitter and on YouTube and just come on and talk to people and kind of keep people company. Invite you to call in and talk to me. Invite you to join me in conversation right here. The numbers to call, of course, are 1-877-669-1292. That's 1-877-669-1292. Now, I could be sitting on my couch and watching a movie. I could be doing that. But I chose to be on here live with you because I feel it's important. Sometimes, people feel a little left out. Oh, look at them. They're all getting presents. They all have a tree and they're all eating big meals. And me, I'm sitting at home. Oh, woe is me. I am Jewish. I do not celebrate. Woe is me. I hear that a lot. I don't like it. I hear it. I understand. Look, we live in a non-Jewish world. We live in a world where people do things that other people don't do. We live in a world where people celebrate different things, and so we shouldn't feel left out in this situation. We have our own holidays. I don't think too many Catholics feel left out of the Jewish holidays. I don't think too many people who celebrate other things and don't celebrate Jewish holidays feel that left out. So we shouldn't feel left out. We should be happy. We should be happy and healthy, and we should continue. Tonight is no different than any other night, although in some Hasidic sects it is extremely different. Centuries ago, there were certain Hasidic sects who decided that because there were pogroms, because they were being persecuted, they shouldn't. There was a time where Jews weren't allowed going outside on Christmas Eve, where Jews weren't allowed to go and show their face on Christmas Eve for fear of being persecuted or, God forbid, killed. And in many European countries, that was the case for centuries. And so Hasidic Jews, who were obviously Jews and who looked like Jews and acted like Jews, they refrained from studying Torah. They refrained from studying their Bible. They refrained from being part of, from practicing Judaism in that extent for the night of Christmas and the night after Christmas. And the reason they did that, they called it Nittelnacht. And certain Hasidic sects still follow that format. And the reason they did it was twofold. First of all, they felt that studying Torah and acknowledging God during a night where Jews were persecuted historically for centuries was inappropriate. And secondly, they decided that it was easier to hide from the Christians by not studying Torah and by not being part of partaking in their Jewish practices on the night of Christmas. That way, the Christians would walk by. They would see that there's nothing going on in the synagogues. There was nothing going on in the Jewish community, and they would just keep walking, and they wouldn't bother the Jews. So it was all about persecution. Jews today, some Hasidic Jews today, still follow the routine and still follow the tradition, and they do so because they feel that it is an important tradition to follow. It's not because they're afraid. There are very few places, there's a couple of places in the world still that if you practice Judaism, you're in trouble. But most places, most of the free world, you could practice your religion and nobody's going to bother you in most of the free world. And so that's it. That's why Jews. That's why some Jews don't partake in Judaism on the night of Christmas. All right, so you can call in if you want, 1-877-669-1292. That's 1-877-669-1292. You could be part of the program. You could call in, and we're here. We're here to talk to you. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to stay on very long. We're going to be back on Sunday night with the regular Howie Silbiger show, and that'll be the full-blown version of the Howie Silbiger show. That'll be on Sunday night. So I'm just going to go now. I want to thank you all for listening and for tuning in, and I will see you again on Sunday, right here on the True Talk Radio Network. If you want to reach me, you could send me an email, howie@truetalkradio.com. You could call 1-877-669-1292. If you hit 1 and the on-air studio message comes on, you could leave a message, and I'll get your message. Until Sunday, I bid you a good night and a Shabbat Shalom, a good Shabbos, and I will talk to you on Sunday night. Have a good one.